Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married to Medicine, Season 10, Episode 6.
Listen here, before we get into it, I want y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Blair, you ready? Walk us through it?
I'm ready.
Walk us through it.
Okay, we start off with Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, and Toya meeting up.
Yeah.
Toya is throwing a trip for the ladies to go to Napa to go to a winery. She is trying to gauge whether or not Quad should be coming on this trip or not.
Yeah.
She says it doesn't make sense for her to be there because it's really a business trip for Toya. She's going to be meeting up with some wine VPs and wants the ladies to be seen in a positive light when she brings them there. At the resurrection ceremony, there was no apology from Quad.
No.
And it even left a bad taste in Dr. Simone's mouth. It was Quad telling them that she wanted to wipe the slate clean for what they've done to her, but Quad hasn't taken any accountability for what she's done to them.
What do you think about this scene, Blair?
I don't know. Like,
you don't know how you felt?
Well, I'm not done with the scene.
Go ahead.
So Simone says that she's tried with Quad. It's been 10 years. Heavenly knows when Quad has different people in her life, she abandons the friendship. Quad doesn't reach out to anybody. Toya thinks Quad can come to Napa. And Dr. Jackie says allowing Quad to come to Napa is giving her an opportunity to be a genuine sister. So, okay, with all that being said, because I kind of had to remind myself, I wasn't exactly sure. With all that being said, I am okay with this meeting. This is all the OG ladies coming to get together.
OG cast, yep.
Yeah, so for them to come and kind of check each other's temperature with Quad is fine. But I'm like, Quad is on the cast, so why are we sitting around talking about Quad whether or not she can come on a cast trip?
Boom.
So that was really my takeaway. That confused me a little bit.
That's why my face squashed up right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she was going to be on the show. Positive light. If you wanted a positive light, listen, big fan of Dr. Heavily. You know, Dr. Heavily go yell and holler at all of y'all.
And your mamas and all that.
Exactly. And then you want to be in a positive light. You know, Dr. Heavily is not cool with sweet tea at the moment. But so don't try to make it seem like it's just a positive light. Dr. Jackie said this gives Quad the opportunity to basically be like a sister and things like that, to be accepted back as a genuine sister or something like that. I don't think Quad ever viewed herself as a sister to the group and things like that. I don't think she ever really submitted herself as that. You listen to all these soliloquies that Quad have. I love all of them, by the way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I think, I really don't know what y'all want from Quad.
Yeah, Quad has always really felt unappreciated and overlooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really don't know what y'all want from Quad. And then, if she's already not with the group and y'all already got the routine of doing things and moving along and basically doing life without her, I don't know why the need outside of, the cast trip that y'all feel the need to be like, let's give her a chance for her to apologize again. I'm like, y'all are passive aggressively trying to get her to see her flaws. It's kind of weird in a way. You get what I'm saying? Continue.
We move on to Heavenly talking to Alura about visiting some of the local schools because she wants to keep her in Atlanta. Georgia. Alura got an acceptance letter to FAMU, which is also her mom's alma mater. And she's wearing the sweatshirt. She surprises her. And Heavenly, she says that she is happy for her. And it really is an amazing school. Alura is going to major in biology like her mom.
That's real nice. Congratulations to Dr. Heavenly and her family.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
Continue.
So Dr. Simone and Cecil, they are out with the boys and the realtor.
Truth be told, this is the scene of the night for me.
Really? Okay.
Yes, it really is.
For them to look at a condo. So they take them to the condo. Dr. Simone said that she's been wanting to buy investment properties. And she says, what would be better than to, buy a condo instead of getting them an apartment.
Yeah.
So Simone is going to have them sign a contract to stay there. Her rules are no overnight guests longer than 2 days. If somebody's staying longer than that, they need to pay me.
Pay her rent. I'm like, yes. Goodness gracious. Go ahead.
Disagreements must go through the mediator, which is Cecil. And Simone doesn't want to come in and see nasty bathrooms and nasty kitchens. Simone says, Miles, you have 1 year rent-free. And Michael, you have 2 years rent-free. Violation will be eviction. And they're like, okay, we're just going to go home. And she is, and home is not going to be an option.
Listen here. There was a part, of course, throughout when she was explaining herself, explaining the rules, that she's trying to lay down the law. And I felt like all three of them was taking it lightly.
Yeah.
I feel like Cecil was taking it lightly. When he could have used that moment right then and there to really reinforce the rules that Simone had. This is actually nice. You get what I'm saying? Because
it's a gift, actually.
This is nice. Now that don't mean it's y'all's. This is my property. I'm just letting y'all live there.
Yeah.
But guess what? You know what? I'm going to come to a middle ground with Cecil. You know what? The oldest, you can stay here for a year rent free. You know, the second one, 2 years rent free. I think at that moment, because I forgot what Cecil was doing before he got to real estate, but he stopped his job. And I think at one point, like, Simone was the sole income, if not the biggest income for sure between them two. And I'm like, at that point, you have to really stand behind Simone in this, because yes, especially since she's the only woman in the house, because men can sense, I don't want to say weakness, but we just take everything as a joke.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? To where it's not a joke. Why do you think if you get evicted from here that you could just come home? You talking about, I still got all the codes, I still got the key. No. You will be a trespasser and you will get shot. This is Georgia.
Oh, gosh.
Open carry. How did you feel overall about this scene, about, you know, her coming to the middle ground with Cecil? Because you know how Cecil was like, look, we just can't throw him out, you know? How did you feel about this being another option?
I felt like Simone made a awesome compromise.
Okay.
And I would have liked to see Cecil support her in it a little bit more.
Please.
I feel like with Cecil, he's like, they can stay at the house. They could do whatever. It don't really matter.
It's
it
my
can take them
guys.
however long to get their life together. You know, they take as long as they need. And I agree in a sense that, yes, some people do take a little bit longer, but we need to actively be working. We cannot be taking semesters off for internships when we've been in school for 5 years.
Come on now.
Like, we should have been doing that year number 2. So I'm in agreement with Simone. I felt like she came to a great compromise, and it really would have been nice to see Cecil, you know, just be like, okay, y'all joking, but we for real. You know, as a unit, we're for real. But he really doesn't feel that way.
I really like to see, because I like to see the inner workings of people's families.
Yeah, the dynamics are cool to watch.
I don't really care about how y'all fake like or fake dislike Quad and things like that, but we go get down to that. Come on, Blair, walk us through the next scene.
Yes. Well, Toya is packing for Napa, and Dr. Eugene, he comes in, brings her a glass of wine. They share a glass of wine.
They always been drinking wine since season 1.
Yes. She tells Eugene that she wants to focus on the new collection that she's going to have and the social media aspect. He's proud that she's jumping into this career that she enjoys.
Facts.
And Eugene says that, you know, just remember that your weekend is for business. You don't want to argue with someone about Quad. You know, she's or you don't want to argue with Quad. She's a powder keg. He says he doesn't trust Quad with Toya, and Toya says that she needs to come with a meaningful apology, but ultimately the weekend is not about Quad.
Listen here. Then what are you doing, Toya? Now this make me look at you weird. Because you can't be like, hey, listen, she need to come with an apology, but this is a business trip. Is it business or is it or is it a redemption trip?
Yeah.
If it's business, I think you should have went alone.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You should have went alone. Because now I think people underestimate hatred. And I think Toya is on that line of like, you know what, I really don't like, and I'm kind of leaning towards hating Quad. You came against my family, you called us thieves. You're not a good person. And I'm like, and that's why Eugene said she's a powder keg, just one little spark. One little spark can make it go kaboom. You know? Continue.
Yeah. Only thing I want to say about that is I like how Eugene is supporting Toya with this wine business.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it's really cool. And I really appreciate that he's taking it seriously and really wants her to focus on the business aspect of it. Because, you know, Toya, she's gotten ran through the mud so much in the show about not being smart, not having nothing to do all day, just waiting for Eugene. And I'm enjoying seeing her in this light. I really am. So the ladies arrived to Napa. The only people who aren't there are Jackie, Phaedra, and Quad.
Yeah.
It is T's first time in California, so she's super excited.
Yeah.
And Heavenly says, well, you know, T, I really wanted to celebrate your special day with you. Talk about her wedding, which she was at.
Listen here, man.
T says, you know, you first said we were the perfect match, and then you were over here talking about how we had this big age difference and we won't mesh. And Toya says, you know, all you have to do is own something. And she was saying that to Heavenly. And Heavenly says, you know, I truly do apologize. I didn't like her apology. She gave if I made you feel away, if I did, then I apologize. If you're going to apologize, just apologize for what you said. You said enough.
But what if I'm not sorry?
Then don't apologize.
No.
Don't give me if I would, all that BS. Anyway, T says, you know what, just be there for me. But I still won't confide in you no more.
Listen here. Even though it is not Heavenly's place, but thank you, producer Heavenly, for producing the conversation. It's not going to mesh.
Yeah.
Like it just, I don't see, maybe she has to see something in Dr. Greg that we don't see. Based on what we've seen on the show over 10 seasons and the seasons that he wasn't there. It's like, oh, Dr. Greg got some things about him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But hopefully it does. But I do agree, like, Dr. Heavenly, like, look, she had the power to take you off the list and she did. You get what I'm saying? That's facts. Continue.
Yeah. Well, we get to the winery. I think it's at the winery where they're at. And Toya did not get a room for Quad. Heavenly says, look, everybody over 50 needs their own room. And they said, Dr. Alicia needs a room with Quad, so, you know, y'all can get to know each other better. Basically, Alicia, you're the newbie. We would have gave it to T, but T's married to her ex-husband.
Now, Toya, you heard what your husband told you before you left, right? If you agreed in the first scene to where the OGs was talking about inviting Quad, you should have made sure that the accommodations for her was up to par as it is for Dr. Simone, as it is for Alicia, as it is for... Come on. Am I preaching to the choir?
Yeah, because, I mean, Toya, you over talking about, well, I didn't know if she was really going to come.
You invited her.
You invited her. If you're going to invite her, then do right by her.
Exactly.
You know, just make sure she has her accommodations. Like, that was funny to me.
And now, when Quad come in there on her fake Sinatra, basically things like that, y'all gonna look at Quad as if she's, like, funny and things like that. Don't provoke her. You know what I'm saying? If you really want a genuine apology and a genuine kumbaya sister circle type of thing, then make sure you do everything right so no one can hold it over you that you did anything wrong.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And now this other older woman, Alicia, Dr. Alicia, I think she is. Now she has to, I guess, because they text Dr. Jackie and Dr. Jackie wrote no.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
They just said, I would rather not.
Yes. So it's like, for one, I don't even think it's so much of, like, I don't like Quad. It's more like, why am I sharing a room?
Yeah, get her own.
Exactly. Everybody else got their own room except me? Come on, Blair.
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
Well, we see Dr. Simone, Dr. Alicia, Heavenly, and Toya. They go on a bike ride.
Okay.
Then we see the ladies getting massages. And T tells Toya, tongue twister, that G has been checking in on her, and she told him what Heavenly said about him having worms. And she's like, well, he needed to know because Heavenly's his dentist.
What did you think about that?
I think it's rightfully so. I mean, you're my husband, right? I'm not going to not tell you what you think your friend circle or people you cool with are saying. Like, that's wild to say. Don't give this lady your money. That's crazy.
But it's Dr. Heavenly. It's like...
I'm sorry. I wouldn't excuse Dr. Heavenly for her mouth.
Sorry. It's literally you getting mad at a person for throwing the same punch over and over again.
But the thing is, she don't usually do that to people outside the circle.
What? Have you watched her show on YouTube?
Okay, yeah, she does to everybody.
I'm about to say that
is just how she is.
Last season was a whole thing where contestant was acting crazy and stuff like that. Where like this is what you said about everybody.
Yeah,
everybody look.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I no longer get mad at Dr. Heavily when she do stuff like this. Dr. Heavily, I love you and I accept you fully for who you are.
Okay,
you get what I'm saying. This is who she is.
Yeah,
Continue.
Well, Heavily comes in and Simone starts massaging her.
Yeah.
That was a funny part of this scene.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that one. Then we see Quad. Quad arrives.
Miss Quad, she got it. She got us there.
They are sitting down talking, and Toya tells her, well, initially I didn't get you a room, but I ended up getting you one.
Okay.
Quad is like, doesn't understand why do we have a problem now. Toya said, after Quad walked out the room, because Quad was like, you put me in a dungeon somewhere, like what you got going on. Simone was like, you really think that low of Toya that she would do that to you? And Quad is just like, okay, all y'all being weird. So I'm going to go to my room. And Toya was saying to Simone that y'all are just going to sit up here and smile in people's faces and then talk mess about behind their back. And Simone is saying, look, I'm gonna be cordial with anybody, and that's just how it is. And Simone also says that Quad needs to come to dinner thinking and feeling like everything's okay, so that we can actually have real progress with her, and so she's not on guard, so we can have these real conversations.
Listen here, this is simply one-on-one type of I don't want to say guilt trip, but girl, at first I ain't get you a room. But now I got your room. Now, bow to me. Thank me. You get what I'm saying? She didn't even have to let her know the behind the scenes of that. Let her see it when the show come out.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Continue, though.
Well, Phaedra and Dr. Jackie arrive. Apparently, Phaedra was supposed to arrive with Quad, fly together. But she blames it on her babies. The boy had a birthday party, something. She couldn't get on the flight.
Okay.
Toya thinks Phaedra switched her flight so she didn't have to fly in with Quad. Apparently, Phaedra texted Toya and apologized, stating, I don't want you to think I keep bringing this girl around. Basically, don't associate me with her in your head. Dr. Jackie says that Phaedra will cut you off if you don't make her look good, and she did not feel like she was made to look good at this resurrection event.
That's kind of weird, though. What do you mean bring this girl around? Quad is an OG. Yeah,
but everybody's on the outs with her, and Phaedra essentially is a newbie when it comes to the group.
Yeah, she is like Sweet Tea, but she just a legend in the game. That's all.
Yeah. So Phaedra's more respected, but at the same time, I see why she's like, if one girl is on the outs of a group on these reality TV shows, you don't necessarily want to be paired up with them because then the both of you are on the outs.
Oh, okay.
So I see why Phaedra's trying to be like, look, y'all, I'm cool with her, but I'm also cool with getting to know everybody and being cool with everybody, basically.
Okay. I'm learning something about the reality TV manual rules and things like that. Continue.
Well, the ladies arrived to dinner, and Toya talked about she surprised Quad came because she hasn't talked to any of the ladies. Toya, you gotta stop with that. That's weird to me. You surprised the lady came when you invited her on the cast trip.
It's like Toka. Toya is looking for a reason to hey guys, are we going to jump Quad now? No? No? Okay. Hey, I didn't get you a room at first, right? No? Not yet? Okay.
Right.
Okay, I gotta wait. I'll wait. It's like you just really want to get off your issue, and I understand that a lot of things that was said about you and your family by Quad that wasn't right.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But rather get over it or don't bang with her.
Right.
It's rather one of the two. You shouldn't have invited her. You should have invited her.
If you're going to act like this.
Exactly. Continue.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Jackie lets us know that she is going to be getting on a Zoom call to speak with VP Harris.
Yes.
About the Black maternity mortality rate. So that is a kudos to Dr. Jackie.
Congrats to Dr. Jackie. Congrats to Dr. Jackie.
That's great. Next, Phaedra and Quad arrived at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Quad tells Toya, regardless of where we stand, I'm really proud of you and what you have going on with this trip. And she's happy to be here to celebrate her.
Listen here. When Toya heard that, Toya looked at Simone like, is it time yet? Can we do it now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Toya was looking a little screwed face after Quad said that as well, because that is weird. We never had a conversation to clear the air.
Privately?
You never apologized to me. Like, nothing happened, and you're over here, clear the slate, we're good, let's move on. No, girl. You talk cash ish about me and my family. Mm-hmm. You gonna have to have a conversation with me. Like, you're so proud of me no matter where we stand. How about you figure out where we stand and let's actually legitimately move forward? That is irritating.
Yeah.
Simone says that it is wonderful to hear that you support Toya, but the elephant in the room is your treatment toward all of the OGs in this group. Quad thought she would have gotten more support within the group. Mm-hmm. And Simone keeps asking her, why are you hanging around women you don't feel safe or supported by? Like, what has changed between then and now?
We still the same.
And basically, Quad is like, well, I'm not going through nothing right now. So basically, y'all can't hurt me with, stuff. Quad says that there wasn't a safe space for her to open up. Yeah. And so even at the table, Simone tells her, like, you're playing the victim. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, that is not a safe space.
That is literally the definition of what Quad is saying.
Exactly. That's not the best thing to say now.
And let it be known for me, I can't speak for Blair.
Yeah.
I'm not on Quad's side.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not on Quad's side. I'm not so much on the OG side.
Yeah.
I'm more on Quad. You was tripping a little bit. You got to give a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I want her to bow down and kiss the ring of the OGs, but it can't be no hopping out the casket and be like, I forgive y'all, and then just basically just get back to life.
Like, we good?
Like, okay. It's just like, I think you got to do a little bit more. Go ahead, Blair. Continue. It's not a safe space. That's basically what she meant. Go ahead.
Yeah. And basically, Quad is saying she believes in second chances for everyone. Yeah. If I can wipe the slate clean, then I think y'all can too.
Yeah.
Quad has retreated, but she wants to change that.
Yeah.
Heavily says, I was Quad's friend, and I really do have love for Quad. And, if you don't have an emotional attachment, because that's what Quad was saying too, she doesn't have an emotional attachment to this group, but she's trying to get there. And Heavily saying, if you don't have the attachment, then be done with us. If you ain't feeling it, then don't feel it. Be gone.
But Heavily kept talking.
Phaedra said she wasn't going to bring you on the trip.
That's what Heavily said. Now Heavily snitching now.
She even changed her flight so she wouldn't have to ride with you. Mm-mm. And then you called me. I feel used.
I don't know how she put those two together, but we here now.
Phaedra said, I wasn't going to bring you around if this is what the energy was going to be.
Yeah.
And Heavily says, look, I'm a good friend. Don't use me. Mm-hmm. And even Jackie said that you were using me.
Oh, my goodness. Jackie just looking like... okay.
Heavily said, I need you to own what you said.
Yeah.
And basically, apparently, I guess, Quad had been telling Heavily that Phaedra did date Dr. G, but they ended up ending their soiree because she started asking for $4,000 a month.
Okay.
And Quad agrees and says that that's what she said, and that's where we end the episode.
Well, just to clear it up, Phaedra says that that's not true because, when Sweet Tea was there.
Right.
Because she asked Sweet Tea.
Yeah, T had never heard it.
Yeah, she said, T, have you heard this? And she was like, no. She said, look, me and him went on a date. We did not date it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and we had no romantic anything. What did you think so far about this episode before I give my opinion?
I felt like it was good. I did want to say that at one point in the conversation at the dinner table, Quad was like, I mean, you're over here talking to Heavily. You're saying you love me. You're so close to me, but you over here talking so much trash about me too. So I can understand why Quad is like, okay, Heavily, you're saying I'm doing something wrong, but you over here always talking about I'm cheating with somebody's man. So
she just said it like in real time,
like literally a couple episodes ago.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about real time on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
She called Quad homeless.
Oh yeah, she did.
So I'm like, so here's my opinion. Are we crucifying Quad a little more harshly compared to Heavily? And the only reason why I say that is because with Dr. Heavily, I'm not going to say they haven't tried to crucify her. They haven't tried to call her. Like we seen throughout the seasons where she come with it with Dr. Simone and things like that. It seemed like at one point the only friend Dr. Heavenly had was Dr. Jackie.
Yeah.
It seemed like everybody was like, you know what, we can't trust Dr. Heavenly. You go on your YouTube show, you just talk bad about us and things like that. But it just seems like somehow, some way, even through all of those grievances, Heavenly finds a way to still be part of the group. And I'm not even talking about like because she's like a main character on the show, but it just seemed like they just still like accept her.
Yeah, they have a good relationship.
Why can't they do that with Quad? Is it just as simple because Quad just disappears on us?
I think it is that.
Is disappearing worse than actually going on a show or like saying things that's not true or partially true?
But also, I don't know if you remember when Quad was on Sister Circle.
Yeah.
And she had invited the ladies to like an event with Sister Circle, and she's like, "These are my real sisters. These are my real friends."
And like she wanted to talk about the cast. She was talking about the cast of the Sister Circle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Quad has done things to where she's dropped people because she's met new people, or she's, you know what I'm saying. And I can get where Heavily saying is be like, you know, Phaedra dropped you, didn't want to fly with you, and now you over here calling me asking what I'm doing. Yeah. So I can see that.
I just want to see. I know they left us on to be continued. I just want to see where they're gonna leave us with this Quad thing, because they showed us like a preview of what's gonna happen, and it seemed like they brought her on the show to fire her.
That's what it seems like. I did want to say one thing, though, is that I don't think that how Quad is treated in the group is any different how anyone else is treated. I didn't feel like Dr. Jackie got a lot of support when Curtis was out here cheating. I didn't think it was that much like rallying and, you know, I don't know. It just didn't. I didn't feel that for Dr. Jackie. So
you felt like Quad maybe asked for a little bit more than what the group gave to each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like probably the people who got the most support was Dr. Simone and Cecil when they were about to get a divorce. And that seemed like the most outpouring.
And that was support. At the reunion. That wasn't even during the show.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Like that to me was the most outpouring of support and love. But to me it seems like everybody kind of does their own thing and they kind of get together to hang out, have a good time. But I don't know if they really give each other all of that support that Quad is looking for.
Yeah. I don't know what she's looking for with the whole thing. I don't know if it's that they didn't believe her with the Dr. Greg thing. I think like divorce is just tricky. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the guys were still hanging out with Dr. Greg. You know, they are still the husbands of the wives. You know what I mean? And they supposed to be the OG. So it could be literally anything. But I feel like they brought her on the show to fire her.
Yeah.
To basically be like, hey, we don't want you around. Da 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 da. Maybe I'm wrong. We only a couple episodes in. So other than that, anything else on your mind on this show?
Nope.
This is one of my favorite shows. I feel like this is one of Bravo's better shows. Well, not biggest, but better shows.
It's one of the best shows that they have. Yeah. They don't do it right.
So
they don't give it enough respect.
Well, I ain't gonna say that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Anything else?
That's it.
Y'all be good.
Bye.